So what's going on, everyone? HyperShatic46 here, coming at you with another story time. So I'm going to keep it a little more tame this go around. Not going to be anything bully related. This is another one of my middle school chronicle stories. I gotta think of what the title of all these. I think it might be Chronicles, or like kind of like how with Borderlands they did Tales from the Borderlands, which is terrible. Don't consider it a Borderlands game. I'm gonna make these Tales from the middle school, essentially. So this is the story on how I became a Dodgeball legend. This is exactly why I love Dodgeball so much, because of how unpredictable I am. So the way how the story starts out, the way how my middle school worked is that every year you always had a PE class, no matter what. I mean, it was either you were in an advanced PE, you were in athletics, or you were in PE. That was it. There was no way how you can not choose PE. It was basically mandatory, essentially. So the way how this story starts is this was about maybe a couple months into the school year during my 7th grade year of school. And during this time, the gym classes kind of started moving through sports. We had started originally with like the football stuff. We did indoor flag football, and it was fun for a while, unless you had a grudge against someone, or someone had a grudge against you, and they tried all they could to try to screw you over at every moment's notice. Everybody did it, but it was all in competitive spirit. At least that's what we always said. But the way how the story starts, so after the whole football phase of the gym, we started moving on into the dodgeball-ish sort of phase, or games that basically functioned like dodgeball. They had the dodgeball rules, they had dodgeball mechanics and all that. So it was the traditional type of dodgeball, not the competitive where it's like if you were out, you stand on the sidelines and your team can throw you the ball while you're on the sidelines and you can try to get the enemy team out. But it was just the traditional. Once you were hit, you were out. If you caught the ball, you were out, or the person who threw it was out. And we had a special rule that, like, if you threw the ball and it hit the backboard of the enemy team's side, so in the gym you had just a basketball hoop set up. If you were to hit the backboard on the opposing team's side, then one person on your team can get in, and should you throw the ball and it makes it in the hoop, your full team comes in. Now, during the match, our coach would blow the whistle and says, I think he says quarter line or something like that, but basically, when he says that, anybody can cross the half-court line to the next line over, which is like, I guess, like the three-quarter line, and then he'll blow the whistle again, and then he'll say the first quarter line. And depending on how many people are left on each team will determine when he decides to say three-quarter or first quarter line. So, more often than not, Michael won. This was also a class I had Mark in, and for the most part, Mark, if you're watching this, I mean, you were okay. You're okay. Let me give you some credit where credit is due. But for the most part, Mark and I had a bit of a rivalry. Well, it was friendly competition and friendly rivalry between the two of us in the game of dodgeball. Because more often than not, we were always set on on the opposing team. So, I was set on left team, he was set on right team. He was set on left team, I was set on right team. Very rarely were we ever on the same team. I sometimes think the coach did that on purpose. With that being said, it didn't stop Mark and I from trying to immediately get each other out the second we got our hands on the ball. Like from the second the game started to the second the game ended, it was like one of those moments in gaming if you're playing with friends and one of your friends happens to be put on the enemy team, and it's like, anybody else is gonna get that son of a gun, it's me. That's basically how our attitude was. So game starts, and instantly everybody else sprint. I have a strategy. When the whistle blows and everybody starts going out to grab the ball, I hang back. And an additional rule that the coach has is that to keep people from getting out on the get-go, when everybody runs into the middle to grab a ball, you had to run to the middle, grab a ball, run to the back part of your team, and touch the back wall. So like, you know how in school gyms they have that padding on the walls right under where the basketball hoops are? Basically, in order to actually start playing, you had to run, or at least if you're grabbing a ball first, you have to run all the way down, grab the ball, run back, touch the padding, and you're good to go. Or at least for those of you who go and grab the ball immediately when the game starts. I am one of the people who basically hang back and survey for a few seconds. Now, for my PE class, we were mixed in with some of the 8th graders. So there were a few 8th graders who were in gym with us. And a lot of the 7th graders wanted the 8th graders on their team, and you can understand why. The 8th graders were basically like the legends of the court, essentially. If you were on a team and you had an 8th grader, automatically everybody was afraid of that team because of said 8th grader. And also because more often than not, the coach puts the 8th graders on the team with the girls because, I mean, this was around the time where all the girls did in the PE class was just stand around and talk and just let everything else happen. You wouldn't believe the amount of times when we played dodgeball and one of the girls were left on their team and everybody like, yep, this is it, it's over, it's all over. Like just throw in the towel, start the next game. But so Mark is one of the ones who will run forward first, grab the ball, and be ready to start trying to pelt people as quickly as possible to get to me. So again, I'm not the one who's going to throw myself out on the front lines like he is. In terms of how that goes, he's a lot more braver than I am. So I'm watching him specifically. I'm good at dodging. I'm okay when it comes to catching, but I'm mostly good at dodging. And should I decide to start throwing, as long as I got a clear view of you, it shouldn't be that hard for me to pelt you, because I can throw some wicked good curveballs and I can throw some wicked good fastballs, which makes me wonder, why didn't I ever play baseball? Oh well, lost opportunity. No crying over spilled milk. But I'm watching Mark, and he's throwing at it, and he's throwing the balls left and right, and I can see that he's getting wickedly close to people. But the thing that's throwing me for a loop is that unlike his normal strategy where he's normally trying to because I hide behind people ready to either catch or to be more or less like a human shield or support, but I'm noticing that he's not going for me, or he's not aggroing on me like he normally does, and that's throwing me for a loop, and it's screwing my whole mind up. And I'm like, whoa, something here ain't right. Normally, this dude is gunning for me, and I mean he's gunning it for me, and then I realized, oh wait, it doesn't even matter if he gets me out at first, because depending on how many people are on the side of the team, and then as soon as I realize it, I hear the whistle, 3/4 line, and at the time, my team had less people, so we kind of had to retreat. So it was like, let's see here, we were a class of maybe 30 kids, so 15 on each side. I want to say that there were maybe 8 of us versus maybe like 13 or 14 of them. And the coach basically says, all right, you guys can cross half line, go to 3/4 line. And sure enough, we're retreating, and they are advancing faster than we can retreat. And I remember somebody ended up getting lost in the retreat, and oh god, and he ended up getting out. So the next thing that I noticed was that everywhere I was walking on the court, Mark was trying to match where I'm walking. So if I walked to the right behind a couple people, he was walking to the right trying to get to me. And if I'm walking to the left, he followed me where I went. So the next thing I noticed was that somebody else was aiming for me. And luckily, at the time, I managed to catch a ball. Somebody came in, and the sad part is like almost as soon as they were able to step onto the court, they immediately got back out, and I'm basically looking like, well, geez, what was the point of that? So the game keeps going. People are getting out on both sides. Then the coach says, first quarter line. And this is when all hell breaks loose. So, it was me and 3 other people left versus 8 people on the other side. And this is when I decided to get ballsy, because I'm like, even if I can catch a couple balls, should somebody other than Mark decide to target me, there's no way in hell I can catch that many to warrant a comeback. So the next thing I decided to do was I gunned it as soon as I got a ball. See, the way how the balls work was that if somebody threw a ball at you and you blocked it, you weren't out. So the next thing that I did was that I picked up a ball and I gunned it past the opposing team. I went past first quarter, 3/4, half court, and then I went and jumped. And I let the ball out, and at the same time when I had let the ball out, Mark threw a ball and hit me in the back. And this is the only time throughout the entire PE of that school year Mark will have ever hit me in a game of dodgeball. Because every time he throws a ball at me, I can dodge it. When it comes to me, his aim is terrible. No offense, bro, if you're watching this, but I'm just a better dodger than you are a better thrower. Hey, man, it's just the way I was made. But I throw the ball up, and he hits me in the back. Everybody on my team is watching as this ball basically hits the backboard. So one person off the bat, somebody can come in. But then they see it kind of roll, like, you know how like there's like that little flat part of the, like where the ring meets the back, where the rim meets the backboard. It was basically sitting there, and it rolled and fell into the basket. And before the enemy team could know, we basically had them surrounded at this point. And I come in, and since I got out, before it went in, I essentially got myself back in. And the first thing I did when I came back in, I got myself back out because I threw the ball and hit Mark in the back of the head. Yeah, we had that rule where if you hit somebody in the head, you're out. So, and that was some people's strategies, where if somebody threw a ball, they tried to like throw their head into the ball to make it look like, you know, somebody purposefully tried to aim for their head. But yeah, nope. As soon as I came back in, I pelted Mark in the back of the head, and I got myself immediately out. But hey, I still hit him, so that's all that matters. And then we proceeded to wear them out. I mean, we basically hung them up to dry, and it was all because of that shot. It was all because of that shot, because I decided to be ballsy as hell. But we ended up winning the first round. The second round was basically, there was no contest at that point. We came in, the game started, cleaned house, and then the third round we mopped the floor with them again. Sorry, Mark, but you're all but 9 times out of 10 you're placed on team. You're always placed on the losing team. I don't know why. Don't talk to me. Talk to the coach about it. I got no control. But yeah, that was the story on the day I became a dodgeball legend. Every time we played dodgeball after that, everybody wanted me on their team. Because again, besides that lucky shot, I am a good dodger and I am a good catcher. Better support than I am an aggressor. But sometimes all you need is good support to win a game, and that's all you need. But yeah, I think that was a good story time. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I'm HyperShadow46. Keep a lookout for the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Chaos Control, the like button. Subscribe today to join the Chaos Army. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Stay beautiful, stay frosty. I love you all, and have a good day. I'm out. Peace.